Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So as you guys can see, I have my beautiful model here. This is my best friend Ali and I'm going to be doing a glam transformation on her today. I'm starting off with my Tarte Tape Shape Concealer. This is in Light Medium Honey, and I like to start off with the eyes. So I'm just taking a flat synthetic brush by Napoleon Perdis, and I'm just going to start off by carving out the underneath of the brow. I love doing this because I think that it makes doing the brows a lot easier when it comes to it, but I just love starting off with eyes. So once I carve out underneath the brow, I just drag that concealer down over the rest of the mobile lid, and this is going to be my base. Then taking my finger, I just smooth out any creases and then go in with a fluffy blending brush, and I'm just setting that down with a little bit of loose powder. And now that my lids are all prepped for eyeshadow, for my transition shade today, I'm taking Hoola by Benefit on the same fluffy brush, and I'm just taking that through the socket. I love using bronzers or contour powders as a transition shade. I just think it really ties everything together. Now I'm taking 300 by Inglot on the same brush through the socket again. This is a really beautiful caramel tone. Now my Morphe 35K palette, I'm taking this beautiful brown here in the top right hand corner on the same fluffy brush, again through the socket. This is a really beautiful, like deeper caramel tone. This is going to start to give us some depth. Now on my MAC 217 brush, I'm taking that exact same Morphe eyeshadow, and I'm just pressing this through the outer corner and a little bit through my lash line. And then taking my fluffy brush, I'm just going to blend out any harsh lines. This is almost like a transition shade. I like going in with softer browns before I go in with darker browns in the outer corner. And again, once I've laid that product down, going back in with my fluffy brush just to diffuse any harsh lines. Now going in with Mocha by Makeup Geek, a really beautiful dark brown shade. I'm just pressing that through the outer corner and a little bit through the lash line, again on my MAC 217. And this is why I love going in with a softer brown first, because it makes laying down a darker eyeshadow not so harsh. It just blends so well. So as I said, just pushing that through the outer corner and the lash line, and then blending that out with my fluffy brush. So now I'm taking my same concealer brush that I used to carve the brows out with whatever concealer is left. I'm just placing this on the areas of the mobile lid that had no shadow on, and then just taking my finger just to soften that concealer out. Now taking Naked Pigment by MAC and my Badescu facial spray, I spritz my brush. I like to pull the brow up and then slide my brush down. This way I think it gives the pigment maximum payoff. Then taking my fluffy brush just over the top edge just to soften any harsh lines. I also love using the Badescu spritz because I feel like it really binds the pigment together, because it obviously is a loose pigment. And then with my fluffy brush, softening the top edge so there's no harsh lines, and then I always take that same brush and just run it over the lid to take off any loose shadow that hasn't stuck. Then with my MAC 217 brush, with whatever's left on that brush, I just like to take that where the light shadow meets the dark shadow, just to diffuse those lines. And my tip when working with pigments is I always go in twice, so I always do a double layer of the pigment just to get maximum intensity. Now with an angle brush, I'm just pressing a bit of black eyeshadow into the lash line. My favourite black eyeshadow is Makeup Geek Corrupt. I kind of use this technique as a base before I go in with the gel liner, but I just think it gives the most beautiful definition and subtle smokiness. Now taking my MAC 217, I'm just running that over the line just to soften it. See how beautiful that is when she opens her eyes? So gorgeous. So now I'm going in with my gel liner, and that's my Inglot liner in number 77. And my eyeliner brush of choice is this really beautiful one from Napoleon Perdis. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a name or a number, but it's just a really fine liner brush. I just personally find it the easiest to use. So when I do liner on my clients, I always start off just by getting a line at the base of the lash line. Now my biggest trick for working on the inner corner of the eye is getting my clients to look down, look towards me, and holding their lid with my thumb, and that way you get a really nice clean line, as you can see when she opens up her eye. And then for the wing, I take whatever's left on the brush and just trace out a really fine line extending from her waterline. Then I pick up some eyeliner, and then I just drag that back in to meet with the line that we created along the lash line. When I'm working on the wing portion of the eyeliner, I generally always get my clients to open. I just find it so much easier. And now I'm basically just going back in and just tidying up and just making sure that I get the thickness and the shape of the liner as even on both eyes as I can. Now moving on to the skin, I'm taking my Badescu facial spray, avoiding the eye area and just spritzing this all over her skin. And then I go in with my primer and I just buff the primer all over the skin using my foundation brush. This is the primer that I went in with. Now foundation, I'm taking my Too Faced Born This Way foundations, mixing equal parts of Snow, which is really nice and pale, and Caramel, which is really nice and tanned, and I'm just pushing this right the way over the skin. Now Ali loves really full coverage skin, and my biggest tip for that, if you're using a brush, is really to push the product over the skin. That way you're ensuring that you get maximum coverage. And I always take the foundation over the ears and down the neck, especially if, like Ali, she has a fake tan on, but she doesn't tan the face or the ears. It's really important that we're all one colour and we match nicely. Now cream contour, I like to start off by taking it around the hairline and the temple area, and I'm applying that with the same brush that I used to carve the brows out with, and then I just buff that out with my foundation brush. And for my nose contour, I like to start at the inner part of the brow and then drag that straight down the nose in a straight line, and then put a little bit at the tip of the nose, and then I also shade down the sides of the nostril as well. And to blend initially, I like to go in with my fingers first. I always ask my clients if this is okay, but I really like the way that the finger just tends to soften it, and then to really blend it, I take my foundation brush. Concealer time, mixing my two favourite concealers, my Nars Tape Shape Concealer in Light Medium Honey and my Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer in Vanilla. I just like to take this right the way underneath the eye, and I also get right up underneath the lash line and also use it to clean up the wing as well. And I add a little bit on the chin, forehead and down the nose, and then I really like to take my foundation brush just to blend that out. I really like using the foundation brush because I like getting a really seamless blend where the concealer and the foundation meet, and I feel like the foundation brush just does that blend flawlessly. Now, one of my favourite things to do using my finger is just really pressing the concealer in underneath the eye. I just think it makes it look so flawless, and it's also a really great way to get rid of any little creases before we set. And to set, I'm taking a little bit of loose translucent powder, and this is my favourite setting brush in the whole wide world. This is by Napoleon Perdis and it's brush 16B. And then taking that same loose powder just on a nice big fluffy brush, just to set the rest of the face. Now, I am very heavy-handed when I set the face because I think the key of getting the best longevity out of your base is to really properly set your face. And for me, that's being very generous with loose powder. So taking that right the way over the skin and down the neck. For bronzer, I'm taking my Mecca Max Sunlit Skin Bronzer. This one's in medium, and I'm just taking that on a medium-sized fluffy brush. This doesn't have a name or a number, but it's by Napoleon Perdis, and the reason why I love this bronzer so much is it has a nice, natural, subtle glow to it, so it just kind of brings the skin back to life, especially because I used so much powder to set the skin. And my Can't Live Without Betty Luminizer by The Balm. This is a really beautiful shimmery bronzer, and it just makes the skin so bronzy and golden and glowy, and I just love it. Now I'm taking Hoola by Benefit, which is actually a bronzer, but I use it as a contour powder, and I just lay it in the cheekbones, and this just further accentuates the cheek contour. And I also lay a little bit of this underneath the jawbone as well. Now highlight time, taking my Mary Luminizer by The Balm and MAC Soft and Gentle. Starting off by using a fairly dense brush, I apply the Mary Luminizer to the cheekbones, and then I always place MAC Soft and Gentle over the top, kind of as like a tan topper. I just love the way that MAC Soft and Gentle looks on the skin. It just makes the skin look so beautiful. And then for blush, I'm taking my e.l.f. Twinkle Pink blush. This is a really subtle blush, but it's really beautiful and has a little bit of glow. And it just makes the skin look really healthy and yeah, just really beautiful. I love this blush. This is like the blush for you if you're not a blush wearer. It just kind of brings life back into the face, and I love taking whatever's left on the brush over the face as well. So now brow time. I love Ali's brows, and she also loves when I do her brows as well, which makes me that much more excited. So my favorite product for brows in the whole wide world is the Brow Whizzes by Anastasia Beverly Hills. On Ali, I used a mixture of taupe and dark brown. That's why I love having the underneath of the brow already carved out, because it makes my life so much easier. The brows are already carved out, so I've already created structure and shape. So now all I really need to do is just add a little bit of color. And I love drawing in some faux brow hairs just through the front of the brow. I just think it makes them look that little bit more natural. And now I'm taking a Zoeva 317 wing liner brush, and I'm just setting the brows down with a little bit of eyeshadow. And I just love setting the brows down with the shadow because I think it gives them a really professional finish. Now for the underneath of the eye, I'm taking my MAC 239 brush, and I'm just pressing a little bit of Hoola by Benefit, which is that contour powder. And I like to take this reasonably low underneath the eye, and then taking a clean fluffy blending brush, we're just going to soften that line out. And then again on my MAC 239 brush, I'm going to pick up Mocha, which is that really nice darker brown shadow, and just keep this really close to the lash line, and this is just really great for definition. Now taking a brown eyeliner pencil, I'm just going to really softly line only her waterline. I just think this makes the eyes look really, really pretty. And I'm just quickly popping some mascara on before we go in with some falsies. Now this is Ali's personal mascara, but ordinarily I would use mascaras from my kit with disposable mascara ones on my client, but as I said, Ali had it with her, so we just decided to use it. And the lashes are on. These are a pair of lashes that I customized on Ali. I customize the majority of all my lashes for my clients. I think there's nothing better than tailoring a specific lash to suit a specific person's eye. I just love it. So now I'm going in with, this is Ali's lip liner, and I didn't really like it because it was too pink, so I just went in with a little bit of a brown eyeliner. I did not have any lip products with me, so I'm actually just putting a little bit of foundation over the lip, which seems a little bit crazy, but it actually turned out really, really well. I just ended up putting a little bit of concealer, which you'll see in a sec, just through the center. But yeah, we both actually ended up really loving it. And this is the makeup look complete, guys. I just finished it off by setting the face again with my Badescu facial spray. So this is my final look, guys. I'm so happy with how it came out. She looks so beautiful. We went for a really full coverage, full glam, but using quite neutral tones, so I think it's very wearable. And yeah, I just finished off this glam look by curling her hair with my muck tongs. And that's it, guys. If you liked the video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and hit subscribe if you haven't already done so. And oh, she's so beautiful, it hurts. And that's it, guys. I can't wait to see you guys in my next video. I hope you guys are all doing amazing, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!